we have a big home-cooked dinner tonight. You know, something special.
You want balloons or something?
No, I don't want balloons or something. I'm just saying something nice.
When don't I make it nice?
Make something nicer!
Make it yourself! The great communicator.
When I started writing the script, it was set in the Bronx, but in just sort of a generic Bronx neighborhood. And while I was writing the script, the New York Times did an article. They used to have the escape section of the Times on this strange place called City Island. And I had never heard of it, which I thought was very strange because I'm a real New Yorkophile, and I thought I would have known all of this stuff. So, like, I went and visited City Island, and I found this place that was so peculiar. It's like this... It's this seaside town, but it's also in the Bronx. And I just thought, wow, you know, because I don't think anybody's ever shot here either, I could make this really specific locale, which I think movies really always have to have. You always, to me, a movie has to have like a really defined sense of space and where does it take place and why am I taking you here in this movie? And the Bronx is a really interesting place, but this is a part of it that I'd never seen.
I met my son in the facility where I work.
Have you ever told your wife about him?
That's out of the question.
Good times ahead. Nothing but good, sweet, breezy times.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
When he sent me the script, it had that sort of like hanging Chad on it, you know. He would also like you to produce the movie with him, and I'm going, he has no money and he wants me to go get it, you know. But you know, I've done like half a dozen movies like these independent, and you know, it's always very romantic to say, well, I'm the producer of the movie, you know. But the reality is, it's like it's something you have to make sure you want to commit to, because it's a lot of work to, you know. Unless a studio says, when can you start, you're basically on your own trying to figure out, you know, how much money your dry cleaner will give you, you know. But I read the script and I was so, you know, enthralled with it that I said, okay, here we go. And here's another one that we got to somehow commit.
Talent is what makes a movie come together ultimately. Your screenplay, of course, but actors wanting to do it gets everyone excited. So that's really how you get movies like this made. He's just incredibly committed from the time we started doing it. Alan Arkin, Juliana Margulies, Emily Mortimer, these are all actors who he's worked with, who he called and said, you got to read Raymond's script, and this is this movie we're going to do. That's the enthusiasm and the commitment that a real producer brings, which is what he did.
I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Joycey, for this special dinner that she prepared. And I'd like to welcome Tony to our table.
So, Vince tells me that he was friends with your mother.
A long time ago, I guess.
I guess so, because I never heard about it.
Oh, here we go.
Basically, we got turned down by everybody in town. And we were back, you know, looking at each other going, now what do we do, you know? And basically, you know, I've been there before, and I know that then it's like a personal challenge, and you're like a dog with a bone, and you go, okay, we got to get this movie made somehow, and you begin the process of raising money independently. You know.
We had a lot of really warm-hearted and supportive executive producers.
Yeah.
And we also had a foreign sales company, and we also had a loan from the state of New York. So, I mean, you know, you can cobble these things together, and you have to.
Yeah, it was basically 33% from the state of New York. For those producers out there, it was about almost $3 million in pre-sales, almost $3 million in equity, and some change from the New York State Tax Incentive Board.
Yeah.
And our salaries deferred, you know, postponed, so we can close the bank loan.
My wife thinks that I got a poker game tonight.
Instead of telling her you've been roped in an acting class.
My name is Vince Rizzo, and I'm from City Island.
No more pauses. Think in the privacy of your own home.
The thing about independent cinema, for me, is that it's such a personal thing, you know. You're doing something that you believe in that nobody else does, and you're gathering fellow artists, people you respect. You know, I'm going to call Juliana, I'm going to call Emily, I'm going to call Alan, and they're going to respond to this material because I know they are, because of the material, and people are going to come to the table because they want to gather and tell this story, and it becomes a very personal sort of creation in its purest sense. And that's why I love so much the spirit of the American, or the world, but in this case we're American, but the American independent filmmaker. Without that, we are no one. You know, without that essence that is created, that in the 70s, the American independent filmmaker was making movies for studios.
Right.
You know, Midnight Cowboy, Mean Streets, Coming Home, you know, early Coppola, all Allman's movies. They're all, today there would be movies looking for monies from dry cleaners. There would not be a studio movie.